everyone, how's it going? Hi. Oh, well, we have another topic for today, kind of, not really, kind of the same, but kind of a bit different. And I think Jay and I are reading each other's minds. I've been planning this for a little while, and then yesterday I saw that she was showing one of the interviews that Lauren did with Susan Hendricks. And I was like, lady, you and I, Jay, if you're watching, we are on the same page. We're on the same page because Susan, I'm a big fan of old Suze. Big fan of old Suze. Yes, Hella is excited. Excited to see you. I'm excited to see you too. Yeah, I'm a big fan of old Suze. Kind of not. I've had my eye on Suze for a while. Yes. Let's just say when Lauren started to hang around Susan, I thought, yeah, adds up. Also, Susan is like the OG victim ensnarer when it comes to Delphi. Like, she has been hanging about the Paddies, etc. In Delphi for years. She has had her claws in there for a long time. She wrote Down the Hill, the book Down the Hill. So she probably thinks that she is like subject matter expert when it comes to Delphi, kind of like Lauren has appointed herself subject matter expert when it comes to the Daybell case. And she also thinks she's very, very important because she was on CNN and something called HLN, which I don't even know what that is. Dali told me before it's headline news, I think. But she was on the real news. Yeah, CNN, yeah. Well, she sucks at it, but not as bad as Lauren. Oh, you'll see. Yeah, she sucks. Yeah, Susan sucks. She's a scumbucket as far as I'm concerned. She is. Yeah, they're both misery vampires. Absolutely. Like, Susan is kind of Nancy Grace-esque, but not so much like a caricature. Right? So Nancy Grace has this sort of like Nancy Grace is almost like a movie character, like she's that silly. Whereas Susan, she's in the same kind of category of just trauma vulture. But Nancy actually calls Susan Hendricks her colleague. Yeah. Former news anchor for the Real News, CNN, and suck herself like glue to the Delphi family is worse than Lauren, and for much longer, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if the reason that Becky Patty came up to Lauren, and I think it was about day 3 of the trial, to congratulate Lauren on her coverage, was because Lauren had already befriended Susan at that stage. And or if Becky Patty had noticed that Lauren and Susan were buddying up, then Becky Patty family would have gone, oh, well, Lauren's on our side. You see, because like they talk. They've talked actually. Lauren and Susan have talked. I think it's on Lauren's channel about how there were good people in the room and not so good people in the room. And Lauren and Susan consider themselves to be the good people because they were on the side of the families and the victims. Because there's a side, you see, there's sides. Yeah. I kind of see it differently. I see it that there's a side. The side is that you want the truth to come out, like the actual truth. And being on the side of wanting the truth to come out means that that is good. But it's just me. That's just me. Hey everybody in chat, how's it going? And we'll bring Darlie in and we'll say hi to everybody if he's ready. Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Peachy, how are you?
Peachy. Peachy. Dr. Seuss. Yeah, she probably maybe she thinks she should get an honorary doctorate. Don't worry, there's plenty of Lauren to go around. Oh God. I wanted to spread herself too thin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh hey Sophia. It's yeah, it's probably getting pretty late where you are. Good to see you. I'm the subject matter expert, right, DB? Yes, you are the subject matter expert. Subject matter jurisdiction. Hey, Harp Irish, how's it going? All right, guys, let's get into this. There's a lot.
Irish. Thank you.
Oh,
You're so sweet.
Aren't you a sweetie?
Thank you for gifting 5 hella excited utterance memberships.
That's so nice of you. You do so much good work here.
You do. You are the bestest.
You are the bestest. The bestest. All right, guys. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have a bit of a look into this friendship of theirs, because Lauren talks about Susan like she's my dear friend. My dear friend. They met in November last year. Sorry, not last year. I keep thinking it's still 2025. November 2024 in Delphi, right, at the Delphi trial. So she talks about it, this friendship, like it goes back decades. But I mean, for Lauren, I guess that's a long time because she does tend to go through friends.
Not everyone sticks around like Gray Bay and me.
That's right. I mean, she did kind of like make friends with Grayson's around that time too. So you never know, that could dissipate soon. And she is paying Grayson.
True.
Hey, Blue Jay, thanks for the 139 Canadian. God save the king. God save the king. Nice to have you here. Yeah, Grayson's new. Look, I mean, everyone's new. Anyone who's friendly with this woman is newish because they don't hang around long. Let's get into it.
Just can't find a loyal friend.
Poor Lauren. Poor Lauren. Okay. So, and good on Jay as well for starting to dig into the Delphi stuff. And I offered her, I said in her comments, like, she wants any help, I'm there. I'm there. Lauren's dear friend, Susan Hendricks. Yeah, everyone watched Jay's stream from yesterday. It was pretty good.
She's a class act.
Is. Oh, sorry, Jay is, not Susan.
Oh, I meant Susan, but Jay is too.
Oh, right. Okay, Lauren's dear friend, Susan. Okay, Susan, basically, who Lauren would like to be when she grows up. Yeah. I'm pleased to see Jay digging into Delphi. Yeah, exactly. The more people, the better. Okay, so she's victim vulture. Sorry, advocate. CNN host, former socialite. Yeah, socialite. Yes, and Susan's Grokpedia, which I quite like. Susan, born August 29, 1973, An American journalist, television anchor, and author, best known for her 2-decade career at CNN and HLN.
You need to add quotes around journalist, but yeah.
Journalist, yeah. Where she covered major crime stories and anchored live news programs. She's from Jersey. She has an arts in journalism from Arizona State University. Oh, she's there you go. She's local to you.
I knew we had something in common.
Yes. So she started her professional career as a reporter for KSQ TV, an ABC affiliate, and later a morning news anchor for KMIR TV, an NBC affiliate. Okay, cool. Anyway, so
we had a moment at the Lori Daybell trial.
Oh, great.
When
did you
I
get
was
a
in
photo with
media
her
line,
too?
I looked at her, our eyes met, and she turned away in disgust.
She did. Oh dear. What did she do? She covered live coverage of major events, including the Atlanta flooding, the death of former President Ronald Reagan, the capture of Saddam Hussein, and Hurricane Katrina, often
Lord, how
collaborating
old
with
is she?
production teams. She's 1973, so she's not that old. But so the death of Ronald Reagan.
Well, yeah, I know, but okay.
Okay, here's the bit. Hendricks began her extensive coverage of the Delphi murders in 2017, so that's when they happened. Shortly after the disappearance of teenagers Abigail Williams and Liberty German. On-site reporting from the small town, etc., etc. And then, what's this? At HLN, Hendricks hosted several specials dedicated to the case, including the 2-part series Down the Hill, the Delphi Murders in 2021, which explored the investigation's breakthroughs and setbacks up to that point. She also co-anchored Delphi Murders, Teen Girls Killer in Custody, following the 22 arrest. Notice how she's got a question mark on there. Teen Girls Killer in Custody? Following the 2022 arrest of suspect Richard Allen, examining the evidence and legal proceedings. Where's the thing in the where's it have the book? Why have they not written the book? Oh, here we go. Down the Hill. My Descent into the Double Murders in Delphi is Susan Hendricks' debut book, published on September 19, 2023 by Hatchet Book Group. It offers a detailed investigative account of the February 13, 2017 murders. Guys, who's ever read the book? Is it like totally throwing Richard Allen under the bus? I haven't read it. I probably think it would, from the way she speaks. Anyway.
I thought it was insightful.
I wasn't impressed with Susan. Yeah, look, she's pretty disgraceful. From the way she behaves online, she just dismisses anyone who disagrees with her, and I mean outright.
I disagree.
You gonna block me?
Yeah,
because she just blocks everybody. And P.S. she blocked me, and I don't even think I said anything to her.
She always spoke highly of you, so that surprises me.
She went on this blocking spree around the time of the sentencing, leading up to when people were looking for the exhibits, the Richard Allen exhibits. She went on this blocking spree, and like she could tell I was clearly one of the people looking for the exhibits. And I remember just looking and going, "Oh, it looks like I'm blocked by Susan Hendricks." Oh well. I just noticed, like, when I was researching for this, that I was looking for her post, and she's following me. I'm like, what? What universe is this? My descent. It's her truth. It's very weird. Okay, anyway. So here's Susan and Lauren at the Clue Awards just before Christina was apprehended at the bar. just before,
Aw.
right? I thought I'd just add that in for context because, like, they're having dinner, and Lauren decides after the Clue Awards, to just go outside and have a good old drinky at the bar, and that's when Christina is apprehended by a cop. And we would never have known that if it weren't for Christina's meta glasses. Yeah. And we're going to find out later in this stream that the only reason Lauren even had a seat at the Clue Awards is because of Miss Susan here, because she's so authoritative and she's
a good friend.
She's a good friend. She gets people seats.
Right, Junior?
Yeah. Hey, Wendy. How are you, mate?
Hey.
Good to see you. Yeah, she gets people seats. She's very influential, Susan.
She is.
She is. Now, if you recall, Susan was the reason Lauren was able to lie her way into Bobby Joe Olsen's email on the pretense she was attending CrimeCon in some official capacity, but not really.
For the record, my comment about sex appeal was directed at Nancy Grace, not Susan Hendricks.
I saw someone in chat earlier before we started say that they think that Dali's cute, but don't tell him.
Well, you told me now.
Well, I don't know who it was, so.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. And thank you for all the super chats. Remember, for 12 months. 12 months, Wendy. You're awesome. We love you. We love you so much. Okay, so remember the infamous worker bees email. The worker bees email. 2 of 4 of these, so two of 3, sorry, of these so-called events that are referenced in the worker bee email from Bobby Joe are Susan's speaking events. The other one, Lauren has just decided to include, right? So Lauren will be walking around the ballroom and speaking during various times throughout the conference. Walking around the ballroom and speaking. Currently, Lauren and Grayson will be involved in the following scheduled events. Involved. What involved means, God knows. Right? So this was what was happening at those times. And by the way, there's a mistake here. 10:20 p.m. is not correct. There was no event at 10:20 p.m. on Saturday.
Yeah.
There was one at 10:20 a.m. on the Saturday.
Time.
Yeah. So from tragedy to justice inside the Delphi investigation and prosecution, that's Susan Hendricks with Jerry Glory Holman and Nick McClelland. She's just gone and inserted herself into the Daybell case inside the investigation and the family torn apart with Nate Eaton, Colby Ryan, and Ray Hermioso. Right? Sad face, question mark. Why aren't I on the list? But I'll just insert myself into that anyway and put that on the list. Yeah. To walking around talking? Yes. Yes, walking around and talking. That's speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means she's a speaker, right?
Well,
and Hope, Heartbreak. Yeah, some people listen. Hope, Heartbreak, and Justice, the Delphi case. Susan Hendricks, Becky Patty, Tara German, Josh Lank, Anna Williams. Right? So I'm sure that Susan, if what she was asked, would say, yeah, she's there officially. If she was asked. Bobby Joe's buying all this anyway, clearly. Right? But cool. All good. All good. And thank you for the $9.99, Wendy. You're so sweet. You're always so sweet. And such a great mod too. Always love having you here. Okay. So now
Ooh.
Interestingly, Susan Hendricks did a little YouTube short or something from her bed.
Oh
Sexy.
my.
I know. Commenting on how there was increased security at CrimeCon this year. And she put it down to the fact that the prosecutors from Delphi probably required that because, they've faced so much backlash from the public because people hate them because they're assholes and they torture them, man. Well, she didn't say that bit. But I'm pretty sure that Susan knew that the reason that that was increased security was because there was a very scary stalker lady and her accomplices that Lauren was very scared of because she wrote, a statement testifying to that, which we'll look at shortly. But anyway, let's see what Susan has to say. Hang on.
You got it.
Turning sound on would be good. Yeah.
2025, hosting a panel today with Lieutenant Jerry Holman and the prosecutor Nick McClelland.
That's sexual stallion.
As many of you already know. And so they'll be talking about what went on inside of court, and they're open to answering questions from the crowd. This is a first for me, though. I've been to about, I think, 5 or 6 crime cons, and it's a first where they're upping the security in the crowd because of the attack. And I would say threats to kind of show up and disrupt the panel on the CrimeCon Facebook page. So there'll be extra security. Hopefully they won't be needed. And we will be talking about the questions that you have, that so many people have. So if you have a question now, put it in the comments below and I'll ask Jerry and or Nick. So
Top
many
or bottom.
And Nick did say he understood because there weren't cameras there. And I asked him last night when we met to go over that. They had the wrong guy, maybe. He said, absolutely not.
Yeah, you got
and
it.
The investigation, keep in mind, went on for 6+ years, and several people were investigated. And Richard Allen, they could tie to the crime scene. And keep in mind also that was his alibi, Glenmore on High Bridge. A lot to discuss. Also, how much CrimeCon has meant to the families. That's a panel I'll be hosting tomorrow with the family members. So today is law enforcement, the attorney Nick McClelland, also Jerry Holman, and his wife is here. I got to know her too. So I'm excited for this panel. Hopefully the extra security won't be needed.
Yeah, hopefully the extra security won't be needed. Yeah, well, I mean, sure, Susan. That's why there was extra security there, and hopefully the extra security won't be needed to take an innocent woman away from the bar because poor Lauren was feeling threatened. Well, totally threatened.
Lauren wanted to get a martini.
Well, there's that.
And it was rude of Christina to interrupt her, trying to get her drink on.
So rude. So rude.
God, that looks like a casting couch. Good Lord, Susan, really?
It's so weird to do a video from your bed.
Especially a hotel room. Well, not just any bed, really. There's no acceptable bed to be doing a video in.
It doesn't seem quite like she's supposed to be this professional reporter.
Yeah. I don't want to know how you became a journalist on CNN.
Dolly is very cute and clever. Oh, stop.
And a nasty drunk dad. Wait, me or? Oh.
You got the wrong person. You're very sweet. Noni Solari. That's very nice of you, $4.99. And he won't be able to get his head into the camera frame in a minute. Yeah, so it seems Susan also helped Lauren and Grayson cozy up to other high-profile victims, right? All the way back since their time in Delphi. And Susan's been writing that case for years and years and years, right? So kind of like what I was referring to at the beginning. I'm positive, as much as I can be, not being there, that Lauren would have seen Susan and gone, that lady knows the victims and I can get interviews with them. Oh, and she would have known the prosecutors and stuff too. That lady, if I can cozy up with that lady, I can get in and get interviews. And she knows other people too. So they're hanging with Susan in Delphi. Hanging. And then later, they're hanging with Susan in Arizona, right? And it works both ways. Lauren knows people from the Daybell case. And so here we have Susan going, oh, well, tell me all about the Daybell case. You know more about this than me. This is great. I can report on the Daybell case. Fantastic. And they're starting to become buddies. And we have Susan hanging with Grayson in Arizona. So this is the 13th of April, 2025. And remember, this is when things are really starting to go down. The whole situation, the whole stalker situation is starting
And we
to
don't
go
mean
down.
Lauren.
With Grayson outside of the Maricopa County Courthouse, and we're walking into a what? A Waymo. It's a Waymo. It's a driverless car. And here's the Waymo. Oh my gosh, nobody's in here. Good, how are you? Wait a minute. Nobody's driving. This is nuts.
Is there anybody in the trunk? Hello?
Oh my, our team is working to get you moving. This is not a good sign.
There it goes.
And they play this music, soft jazz, so you think everything's okay. I wonder how many people.
Little R.
get in
Kelly.
this car. My mom would not. No, you're here. Thanks, Mr. Waymo. Your take on the Waymo, we made it.
It is a little scary.
Yeah, you are a little scary.
I mean, I was going to make a joke about somebody hiding in the trunk and crawling out, but then Grayson was there and that was kind of scarier than
That was scary enough.
anyone hiding in the trunk.
They're having so much fun together.
I know. It's so much fun to go to a murder trial. To have the time of your life.
Have I seen the live that Megan Connor did with Jerry Vallow after the verdict in Arizona? It's disgusting how she inserted herself as a family member. No, but I saw that Megan Connor did a interview with Susan. Actually, Susan had Megan on her channel, and I mean, clearly she was introduced by Lauren, or they met via Lauren at the courthouse, and it was all just kind of awkward and strange. I mean, watch it if you guys want. It's on Susan's channel, and Susan's channel isn't doing that great, considering her background and her profile. It's only got 5,000 subscribers, and it's
Sounds like she hasn't been doing videos much recently.
She hasn't really been doing much. Yeah, she hasn't been putting a lot of effort into her YouTube channel. So
and that,
I mean, I'm sure it would do better.
Yeah, you really have to put a lot of effort into it to get.
You do, yeah. When Anjanette started her channel, I mean, she started just like anybody else, and it started small, but it grew fast.
Very quickly. Yeah, she's
really fast. Yeah.
But yeah, she was really I don't want to say struggling, but just she wasn't getting a lot of views at first, considering how well known and high profile she is.
like, yeah, it took
Plugged
off.
away at it and kept doing videos and
Yeah.
getting better at thumbnails. And
Yeah, you've got to actually put the effort in, and she did.
Yeah.
So, and then here she is. Here's Lauren and Grayson with Joe Petito
Aw.
earlier this year, right? Now, no, they're actually at like a golf day, and there's no question here that this is Lauren using Susan as a contact
Yeah.
to get in with a very high profile victim in order to do this. So look, Gabby Petito Foundation, and this is June, right? And dinner with Joe Petito, Gabby's dad. Our interview with Joe premieres tonight on our YouTube channel. She got an interview with him.
Well, not surprised.
And she does like to name drop them. Yeah. She does like to name drop them. And they were looking for sponsors for their foundation, right? Because they're trying to change laws in different states to make it so that women who are like looking to get more attention from the cops when they're in a situation like Gabby was in, receive the attention that they need, right? So they're trying to do good work.
Or Charles Vallow.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Or Charles Vallow.
Yeah. Well, exactly. It might just be women.
Trying to say like I don't mean like he's a woman. I just mean in general. Maybe he could do a little bit better of a job believing people who say they need help.
Exactly, right? So to just not be ignored. So they're doing good work, right? But here we have someone like Lauren who's like, oh, we're here trying to help the victims and trying to help this foundation. But look what she gets out of it. She gets this interview with Joe on her channel.
Yay!
Yes, men too. I didn't mean to make it sound like it was only about women, right? But
No.
yes, absolutely.
It was just the first example that came to my mind.
Yes. Did you say THC? The very reason I didn't care for Lauren and THC was how odd it was that they didn't seem to comprehend the tragedy they regurgitated over and over.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was June. Now, and looky here. And this is July, right? This is the day before the Brian Koberger sentencing. And I know it says the 23rd of July down here because I'm a day ahead of you guys, right? So this comes up on Instagram as being posted on the day of the 23rd of July, which is the Brian Koberger sentencing, but it would have been posted the day before. So the 22nd, everything comes up a day later for me. So yes, looky, no stalkers here. And I wonder if that's the Bitter Creek Ale House. Yeah. And remember, like, if you recall the video of Lauren waving at Lindsay from the tent outside of Ada County Courthouse, she was wearing this outfit. Yeah. Now, so there she is hanging about with her good friend Susan. And she says, Hidden True Crime is in Boise for Brian Koberger's sentencing, along with our friend Susan Hendricks. And tonight, we'll be going live to cover day 6 of the James Craig trial. It was a big day in court. And tomorrow, we'll bring you on-the-ground coverage from Idaho. Phew! Right? So clearly James Craig trial's been going on. They're going to do like a recap or something, maybe from the hotel room tonight. And then tomorrow they're going to be live from the courthouse. So busy. So busy. She's wearing a $300 plus Farm Rio romper. Really?
Wow.
If
To
she's
make sure
covering
look like
James
$1 million
Craig, if she's covering James Craig at this point, this is when she met Bobby. Bobby with an eye. I know. Yeah. She covered James Craig trial and was cozying up with the lead detectives there. 100%.
Wait, really, Brooke? She was trying to tell everyone about her stalker at the James Craig trial.
No way. What? No.
I don't think we've heard about.
No, we have not heard about that. Really?
Huh.
No. Look, I'm not surprised. It's just that we haven't heard anyone say that.
No.
Wow. Okay, so now we're going to watch a bit of video. So this is Lauren and her bud. They had a good old catch up after Boise, right? And so this is starting to they themselves are going to explain how their relationship up till now has evolved, and how great they both are.
Hello, Hidden Gems. I am with a very special guest today, a friend of mine, Susan Hendricks. It's good to see you, Susan. Hello.
Good to see you, Lauren. Hey.
Many might know Susan from her days anchoring HLN, and also you were with CNN for many, many years, even appearing with Anderson Cooper. And now you are the host of your own YouTube channel, Headline Crimes with Susan Hendricks. Go subscribe. We love having you in this space and what you bring. You covered the Richard Allen trial. That's where you and I met in Delphi, Indiana. And you covered Karen Reed, which I got to say, well done on that. After Delphi, John and I were like, we're not touching anything controversial for a while. And you were like heading, I'm like, I'm going in full force because I felt one way before.
We're not going in. They're done with anything controversial after Delphi, really?
Well, yeah, she did not want to cover Karen Reed, but probably one of the wiser moves she's done.
I get not wanting to cover Karen Reed. We didn't want to go near Karen Reed either. Like, it was just so much just nastiness from people on, like, no matter what you express in relation to that, there was like people would just go hammer and nail at you about it. So, and also it just didn't interest me that much. Like, people were far more passionate about it than I was. So it was something that you just really had to be very passionate about. But I get from her point of view not wanting to touch it because she was probably more disposed to going with the guilty.
Oh, the Karen Reed case.
Yeah. I think she was probably more disposed towards going guilty, and that wouldn't have gone very well for her. Hey, Joel, how are you? Thank you for helping me out with research on this one. Much appreciated. And Brooke says she told me about her stalker after I asked her to stop talking when witnesses were on the stand because I couldn't hear. What? No. You asked her to stop talking, and then she's like, I'm sorry, I was talking too loud. I have a stalker.
Huh?
This
Okay.
sounds like what she did in friggin' Arizona. I'm sorry I cut the line. I have a stalker.
Surprised she didn't tell Andrea she had a stalker as well. Just her go-to excuse.
She hadn't made up that story yet then.
I know.
Wow.
Fortunate for Andrea, or else she would have got a cease and desist.
That's true. No, I see Andrea would never have gotten a cease and desist. Wow. Hey, Janice. I don't think that she was talking about a stalker at James Craig, because the officer in Boise plated the idea of a stalker on July 23, and the Craig trial was over. Whoa, but Brooke said she said stalker. Maybe she had already made this idea up in her head.
Yeah. Or
We don't know how her crazy mind works, Janice.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Or Grayson's mind.
Or Grace's mind. We don't know. Like this chick's psycho. We don't know.
Yeah, please email Brooke.
Yeah. Oh, this adds another dimension to the timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Email, yeah. Wow. Okay, let's keep going.
Before I went, I felt another way after the fact, but there's a
Interesting.
lot of vitriol around it.
Yeah. So your opinion was changed. That's interesting. Yeah. To show, and thank you for that, to show that opinions can be changed. I always go into a story saying, change my mind.
Oh, really?
Change my mind. Let's see what happens. And I went into Delphi that way too. Like, let's find out. Let's see what's happening here. And you and I, and this is why I invited you on. We were just in Boise, Idaho together, attending the Brian Koberger sentencing. Although there's a story behind that. You stayed strong.
Okay. Wait.
Mind. Let's see what happens. And I went into Delphi that way too. Like, let's find out. Let's see what's happening here. And you and I, and this is why I invited you on. Stay strong.
Go.
Idaho together, attending the Brian Koberger sentencing. Although
that photo. Hang on. I'm going to go full screen on that.
Aww.
That photo is so AI. Look how enhanced that is. Holy crap. That is so enhanced.
Good girl, Grayson. Good girl. I don't know. You think it's touched up a little?
Just a bit.
There's a story behind that.
Maybe's gushing there.
You stayed strong. I was covering so much. At about 2 a.m., I gave up. And I said, I'm going back.
I wouldn't call it giving up, because there was kind of a change of what we.
Sorry. Yeah.
Hang on a sec.
Do you want me to pull it up?
My internet stopped. Yeah, hang on a minute.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry, guys.
Wait a minute. My internet stopped.
Technical issues.
Australian internet. Australian internet. Just 1 minute. Just 1 second, everybody. Okay. Now.
Whip it out.
Now I can rip it out, but we will change our setup because it's a bit not right. Oh, now we're over Lauren's face. We can't be doing that.
Now, Kith.
No. That's probably better. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
The hidden gems want to see you, and you could still comment about what you were seeing and not go in. But I thought from Atlanta, if I'm flying all the way here, I really don't have a choice. I'm going in.
You're going in.
Going
Exactly.
in.
And, I had flown from,
Crazy.
I can't even keep track. I'd flown from Colorado. I was covering the James Craig trial. And then we were flying after to Phoenix, Arizona for the Daybell sentencing. And so I was boom, boom, boom. And I sort of hit a wall. But you're right. We showed up at about 10 p.m. Was it 10? I don't know. We were calling each other. We had lawn chairs. We were ready to go. We're like, let's go. There's no sleeping tonight. I showed up. You showed up. And then
We're going all night, chat.
yeah, at about 2 a.m., I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it. You're right. From my television set. But you went in and you were on X and you were sharing what you were seeing in the courtroom. And I just want to go over that because some of the things that you were able to see in the courtroom that I couldn't, I think are really compelling. And I want to ask you what it was like being in that courtroom during that sentencing, hearing those victim impact statements, watching Brian Koberger, and just the feeling in the room in general. I mean, can you take us there?
Yeah, the line, it felt like 16 different stages. So at first it was across the street from the courthouse that everyone was lining up. And you feel like, as you know, from Delphi, we lined up.
Here we go. Now we're going to talk about Delphi again. Right. So these two women are about to have a big love fest about how Delphi was so difficult and Judge Girl was really, really strict and they couldn't even have their phones and how they had to camp out and how these other judges are so much nicer because they let them have phones and snacks and stuff like that.
I mean,
but
the judge in Lori Daybell was pretty based.
Yeah, apparently.
I mean, he didn't care, just whatever.
Out of Delphi, it was a month-long trial, and
goodness,
I kind of knew that experience. I got chairs for this, realizing, oh my gosh, it's going to start at 10:30, a lot earlier. And I ran into Joel from Surviving the Survivor. I've been on a show a few times, but we grew up about 15 minutes from each other and know the same places. And I texted him because I was watching his show right before I thought maybe I'll get a little sleep, maybe not show up at 3:30 with you guys. But I texted and said, once we thought, oh my gosh, we have to get there now. I said, you better come now. Because I heard on his show, he said he's going to head there around 3:34. And I turn around and there he is. He's like, I was already told, here I am. So and
you were like a soldier after Delphi. You were like, trust me on this. I'm there.
We're going.
You're a warrior.
Yes, it was 10:30 till we were able to.
It was her DJ.
But then you had these line leaders. It was just surreal. And you almost could lose track of okay, this is why we're here. This is why.
You almost could lose track of this is why we're here.
Of the fact people were murdered. Yeah. Almost lose track of the fact people were murdered.
Yeah. Let's all have a camp out. It was so much fun. I saw Vinny. Actually, I'm better than Vinny because I was on CNN, so
that's true.
Fuck you all. Anyway, let's move on. Just a sec. I have to get my other thing back now. I have to get my other thing back now. Sorry.
No problem. I took it
I'll
off.
just have to wait because you took it out.
Took it off. Did you hear her say that she rents her clothes?
Yeah, no, I knew about that. Thank you, Selma Blue, for the $10. Yeah, I knew about that, and she was kind of proud about that. I think did she even have a sponsorship for that? Were they paying? Or was she getting her rental clothes for free? So that she'd say the name of the rental clothes company? Because at one point, I thought that was the case. All right, so instead. Okay, let's go. So, boop. And boop. And boop. Right, so moving on. So that was July. And if we all remember she was very upset in July. There were people who were eating carrot cake across the road.
You know, and you can't tell, guys. This is why you really want to know where like somebody's hands are in a group photo like this, because McClelland is actually fondling Jerry Holman right now. And if he objected, it could be a sexual harassment issue. Thankfully, Holman approves of being fondled like that, so it's okay.
He's all
but
right.
you have to be careful in these situations.
Yeah,
that's why he's kind of
it
smiling.
has to be consensual.
Yeah.
I was talking about July, because July was Boise, but and then and then August. I don't know what happened in August. In August they were preparing for the civil stalking injunction. They were getting all their papers ready, and then September this happened. Yes, the fondling photo. So here she is with Susan. Mike Patty's on the right, so he's a victim of crime. What?
I'm just trying to look at the whole picture, trying to see what I can do. Nix looks excited.
I think the whole VIP entrance thing bothers me a lot.
Yeah. Oh, maybe he just came out of the bathroom with Jerry, so that could be why. But yeah,
it could be. I know, like his tie seems a bit disheveled. Jerry,
I know. Good Lord.
Like, and the way Lauren's just like popping her head out, like, I want to be in this photo.
Oh,
he's tenting.
He is pitched a tent. Lauren, there's your tent.
I know, I love that term. What, darling? Look down at his fly. What the? Oh no! Oh no! What? No!
I told
Holy
you.
Crap! Oh shit! No!
He's got a chubby.
Oh. Why is that? No! This is a family stream. Shit.
Susan, be careful of your elbow.
Oh. No.
What the fuck, Nick?
That's nasty. We salute you. Susan, no. That is so bad.
Oh.
Holy crap.
And Jerry Holman.
That's got to be his phone in his pocket. That can't be.
Maybe just a shadow, and it looks. I don't know.
This is so bad. Don't zoom. I'm really considering it.
Does Jerry Holman look like that guy in Men in Black who has a really tiny head and big body?
What did I do? I did not mean for that to happen. Hang on. Hang on. I'm going to
Quit staring, Dolly.
quit staring. I'm about to make it a lot worse.
Rawr. Is that a warrant in his pocket, or is he just happy to be near a man or a woman?
Hang on. Yeah, I'm about to make this a whole lot worse.
I don't think you can.
I think I can.
It really kind of draws the eye in.
Yeah. Hang on. Oops.
Jesus, Nick.
It's got to be a phone.
Yeah.
It can't be.
Maybe you like stuck a roll of toilet paper down there.
It's his key?
What is he? A janitor to a high school? How many keys does he have?
It's a boner. No.
I saw it, Jot, and I wasn't really sure how to bring it to chat's attention. So I was like, maybe he looks kind of excited.
Did you see it straight away?
Yeah. No, well, I saw it like when I saw it like right before I said excited. But I didn't want to be like, hey, I'm just looking at his dick. He's got a boner there. Ah. Can we take the freaking picture down, by the way?
Sorry. I'm sorry. You see over. Okay, well, look, I hate this man a lot. So I have no problem with completely making fun of the fact that he seems to have an erection. No problem with it whatsoever. I really hate that man. All right. Back to the stream. Back to regular programming. Wow.
To anybody who's watching this on replay, you're welcome.
Yeah. We might have spent a little bit too much time on that, but I'm not sorry.
No.
Double barrel.
You know, my mom's like, so what are you talking about on YouTube? I haven't looked up your content yet. Is there a stream I can watch? No, there isn't, Mother.
No. There's a reason I don't tell my parents that I do this.
Yeah.
It's because they'd be offended. Oh, dear.
God. Looks like he's in 7th grade with that thing.
All right. Attending the Gabby Petito Foundation dinner. Okay, so this is after CrimeCon, right? So CrimeCon finishes, and then they get to go to the Gabby Petito Foundation dinner, right? 20th of September. And she gets to meet Heather Locklear.
Ooh.
Yep. Fangirl moment. Fangirl moment. It's hard to believe it's already been 4 years since Gabby Petito's remains were found. In the wake of unimaginable grief, her 4 parents came together to create the Gabby Petito Foundation, an incredible organization devoted to helping others and keeping Gabby's legacy alive. Hidden True Crime is proud to support their work and encourage others to do the same. This past June, what?
Lauren does have her tits out for the boys.
Yes, she does. Actually, they really do look not real at all there. Anyway, this past June, I attended the foundation's annual dinner in New York. It was a moving evening filled with hope, remembrance, and a shared commitment to make a difference. I was also inspired to see Heather Locklear there. She had to drop that name.
I hate to say it, but Gray Bay doesn't actually look that bad there. Like, I think a dress would actually complement her.
Yeah. So there she's like Susan Hendricks in the middle.
Yeah.
Right? And Heather Locklear, not all dolled up like the rest of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Regardless, 20th of September. So last time I think probably seen in public. Hendricks with Lauren and Grey Bay?
Are you sure it wasn't with McClelland?
Now, last time Susan and Lauren appeared publicly together, and I don't know when the actual stream was recorded. So these things are usually recorded like a week or so prior to when they're put out there. Yeah. So it could have been around the same time as when the Gabby Petito thing happened. So not sure. Yeah. And yeah, so that was 25th of September. Cameras, courtrooms, and CrimeCon. A conversation with Susan Hendricks. And that stream is hilarious. And we are going to watch a bit of that in a minute. Now, here's Lauren proudly proclaiming Susan's friendship on her 9-hour Mucus Fest, 16th of October, 2025. Would you happen to have this?
Sorry, I was just, I'll pull up the video, and I was just flashing through the presentation and I was treated to Dick McClelland's boner.
So if you could go to the actual link, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm whipping it out. Phrasing.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Another letter from a dear friend, Susan Hendricks. I saw she was here earlier. I know it's really late. I can't believe so many people are actually still here, but I know some are probably not. They're asleep. Work the next day. I never thought we'd still be here. But like I said, if I'm going to do this, I'm doing it right. We're going through everything. Grace and I decided we're here for the long haul. This was written by my dear friend, Susan Hendricks, that many of you know. She was the anchor of HLN.
The wind beneath my wings.
And a former anchor of CNN. And has become a dear, dear friend. And she has witnessed a lot of this. And Susan offered to write this. And Susan was going to testify at my stalking injunction hearing on Thursday that I have now withdrawn from to protect my family. Lori Hellis was going to be the witness for the respondent for my stalker. To let her, like I said, I haven't talked to her in years. Here's Susan. That is us at the Clue Awards at CrimeCon. The victims of Delphi, Indiana.
I have your time.
As well as the officer and prosecutor. My name is Susan Hendricks. I am a former anchor for CNN and HLN.
Okay. We get it. We get it. Just a second, Dolly, before you. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to have a look at her declaration. I do declare. Since she's so proud of this declaration, let's look at this declaration. And we actually might need those violins back. Do you want to do the reading?
My name is Susie Hendricks. I am a former anchor for CNN and HLN, as well as an author. I first met Lauren Matthias in the fall of 2024 while reporting on the highly publicized double murder trial in Delphi, Indiana. The trial was among the most intense I've covered in my career. With no cameras allowed inside the courtroom, it demanded long days, sleepless nights on the courthouse steps, and hours spent waiting in line just to gain access. It was under these extraordinary circumstances that I became acquainted with Lauren, not only as a fellow journalist and colleague, but very quickly as a friend. Over time, I came to know.
Oh, Phil. I'm so sorry. I hope your stalker doesn't turn up when you go to the au pair border trial tomorrow. I'll try not to turn up.
I came to know Lauren Matthias and her producer Gray Bay on a more personal level. Emotional, even intimate. I became familiar with Lauren's mannerisms, her temperament, and the way she conducted herself on a daily basis.
Ooh.
Okay, you said that like you were afraid of her. I'm just saying, you kind of like that's kind of like a person who's beaten by their spouse says that to look for the warning signs.
I became familiar with her temperament and how she conducted herself so that I can keep myself safe.
Yeah, like Lauren does with John when he's interrupted.
Yeah.
In January, Gray Bay connected me to Christina via text because I was looking for someone to help me with some graphic design work. Christina and I sent a few texts back and forth, but nothing was ever set in stone and official.
These damn graphic designers.
Fast forward to April of 2025, and Lauren and I began covering the same trial in Phoenix. On April 9th, I planned to miss the morning session at court. At some point that morning, Gray Bay reached out to me to come over to their Airbnb as soon as possible because something had happened and Lauren was not okay.
Well, we know she's not okay.
So
you don't need to write an affidavit to attest to that, but anyway.
All right. I showed up to their Airbnb a little while later, and Lauren was in a state I had never seen her in before. Lauren was extremely emotional. Surely you've seen her emotional before.
That's normal.
And told me that Christina had confronted her in the courthouse about calling her annoying in a text. So Lauren insults her, Christina calls her on it, and Lauren's the victim. Okay. Lauren said that her past messages with former contract employees were being sent out because they were angry at her for talking shit behind their back. I reassured Lauren. No, I added that part. They were angry at her. But they were angry at her because she was talking shit behind their back.
Yeah.
I reassured Lauren that everything was going to be okay. I doubt it. And she would get through this. When the social media posts started in June, the shift in Lauren became even more apparent. She became extremely fearful for her safety, even more than she already.
June is not right.
Yeah. She would often talk to me.
You're right, keep going.
All right. She would often talk to me on the phone and talk about the anxiety she was feeling and how unsafe she felt given what was occurring. I was on CNN and I didn't need this shit. I met up with Grayson and Lauren again in July at the Brian Kuberger sentencing. There was a line to get in for sentencing beginning the night before, and many of the accomplices Christina has were in the front of that line. I recognized many of them from the social media posts and comments, as well as seeing them at different court events that they would show up for. Damn tourists. Lauren and Gray Bay met me there to get in line with me. and ended up leaving in the middle of the night because Lauren expressed that she was feeling unsafe and intimidated by the group. It was clear that there was significant tension, and Lauren left to de-escalate a situation that she did not cause.
Is she talking about Boise?
I think so.
This is about this affidavit is directed towards Christina. Christina was in Europe.
Lauren
You silly
did,
bitch.
however, come back for the press conference where it was clear to me she was feeling stressed and panicked. The next morning, I got breakfast with Lauren and Gray Bay before my flight home. They explained that they had to call the Popo that night after a confrontation occurred at dinner by Christina's accomplices. They shared that after the two of them were confronted, they felt that they could not safely leave the restaurant, which is why they called the police. It was clear to me that the two of them were in an absolute panic state and what I would describe as fight or flight. They were concerned and worried. I noticed they kept looking at the door anytime there was a noise, expecting to see a 5'2" LDS girl in the doorway.
This is so fucking stupid. Just safely leave the restaurant.
Jesus. The only thing you have to worry about them is knocking on your door to try to talk about their religion. Good Lord. Like, they're not really a threat, sweetie pie.
I'd be worried if I were a victim of crime and they started knocking on my door.
Yeah, well, I'd be worried if Grayson knocked on my door.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. Trying to sell
Lauren
cookies.
called me weeks later and told me that Christina was now posting about her husband on social media, and she shared with me how harmful it was to both herself and her husband.
How? Well, the TikTok's going to come out and strangle you or something.
Is the TikTok in the room with you right now?
There's a TikTok in the room.
She was fearful for her family's livelihood based on the public lies being spread about her hubby and his career by Christina.
That's it. That's it right there. That's it right there.
I again witnessed the fear Lauren continues to have while at CrimeCon in Denver. Aside from my pre-committed work events during CrimeCon, I tried to stay with Lauren as much as possible throughout the duration of the convention. Both Lauren and myself are trained and seasoned journalists. When being trained as a journalist, you are trained to be non-emotional, to have thick skin, and to push through things. So I'm thinking Lauren should get a refund on her degree. It is extremely clear to me from conversations I've had with Lauren that she has tried to remain that way. I doubt it. But at this point, she no longer can. I've witnessed increased fear and stress in Lauren over the last several months, and I've become very concerned for her and her safety as the stalking and harassment continues.
This woman's a journalist.
A journalist?
She doesn't do much research.
Well, she's a journalist, so she wouldn't.
A journalist? A journalist?
Oh.
Wow. You're living for the background music and Dali's reading. So there's a reason I keep him around.
Occasionally.
Yeah, sometimes. He doesn't know when to turn the music off, though.
Well, there's that.
Okay, this part. Stop it!
Don't you want me to know?
We're both trying to turn it off at once.
Oh.
This is going great.
This is going great. I love that soundbite. I do love that one. Okay, both Lauren and myself are trained and seasoned journalists. Are you? Are you? What seasoning? Because, yeah, when being trained as a journalist, you're trained to be non-emotional. To have thick skin and to push through things? Okay. Yeah, tell us about that.
I mean,
it is extremely clear to me.
To be fair, she does have thick skin on her face.
Well, it happens after you've like cut it up and gets scarred and stuff.
Yeah. Still thick.
Yeah, yeah. I've witnessed increased fear and stress in Lauren over the last several months, and I've become very concerned for her and her safety. What? What have you actually seen? What have you witnessed to make you think that there is stalking and harassment? You haven't. And can we just acknowledge for a minute that the only thing that she could possibly attest to is CrimeCon, right? Because everything else here Christina wasn't there, right? Everything else is Christina's accomplices. All this other crap up here is all stuff that happened at the Brian Koberger sentencing. She wasn't even there for this stuff that she's talking about with them apparently having to call the police. This is all just stuff that's been said to her.
Yeah.
And Christina wasn't even there. Right? So this part here, I again witnessed the fear Lauren continues to have while at CrimeCon in Denver. This is really it. This is all that she could possibly say she witnessed, just seeing her upset at CrimeCon. She didn't see Christina stalking her. That would have been material if she'd actually seen what she considered to be Christina stalking her. But she doesn't even say that. It's just complete bullshit, right? So I find her statements to be absolute rubbish. So let's go back to here. Now, here is Susan responding to a comment 2 months ago. So do the maths on that, right? Do the maths on that. So we are now at just into January. For you guys, it would be the 11th. Today it's the 12th for me. So it shows up on YouTube as being 2 months ago. Unfortunately, with comments, I can't get a date straight up on them. It doesn't give me an option to show up a comment date. So it gives me an option to show what the post or stream date was, but not the comment, because this is from a post from a long time earlier. But someone's come along and gone, just subscribe. Want to thank you for supporting Hidden True Crime. Lauren Matthias, respect your integrity. Always wonderful to find new channels reporting on crime. And then 2 months ago, Headline Crime Susan said, thanks for subscribing. Lauren is a great person, very caring, and doesn't deserve what she's had to face. She is strong, though, and will get through this. So 2 months ago, by my calculation, puts it around November, right? So it means that November at the latest. It means that some stuff come out, but not much. Not all of the body cam has come out. Not all of the talking to the Henderson cops. Actually, none of the Henderson stuff would have come out yet. That all came out in December. So there would have been quite a bit of information that still wasn't out. And this is the last thing that I can find. And I've been through her comments, her her ex, her Instagram. I've asked people, have you seen anything? And guys, tell me. Like, if you can see anything else, let me know. Right? If there's stuff out there, please tell me, because this is the last thing I can see. Now, I've got from 3 weeks ago, someone's asked her, even after C. Ryan just said about Lauren and John in his recent upload, after all her salacious police calls, abusing police resources over text, and of her bad-mouthing victims and all, being scared of them being exposed, there is one thing for certain and two things for sure. Lauren has probably talked about you too behind your back, but to do this to victims and family members is atrocious and deplorable. If you don't stand for what is right, you'll fall for anything. So that's 3 weeks ago, no response. And Jays for Justice has said, please make a statement, Susan. That was 10 days ago. No response. Yeah? So what's going on? Hi, Susan. How's it feel not be able to control this chat? Is she in here? Yeah. So I feel like she's hiding right now. And I don't know whether or not she is like still friends with Lauren, whether they're chatting. But personally, I think she's cutting her loose. I think there's no reason for her to stay friends with Lauren. No reason. I think it was totally a transactional relationship, and there's no transactions to be had anymore. What good is it? What good is Lauren to her now? Like, socially, she's no good to her. Yeah, Susan probably hopes this will go the fuck away. Yeah. You think they're texting right now? Yeah, no, I don't see why Susan would want anything to do with her. Susan has a new platform to build up. See, she's got a very small YouTube platform. She has a good like profile of her own from the past, but she's now trying to build up a new platform. And I think she's probably saw Lauren as a good way to get into the YouTube platform. But if Lauren's got a bad reputation on YouTube, I would think that being associated with her now would not be the best thing. She's probably looking for other people to collaborate with. So, yeah, there's no reason for her to do anything about Lauren. She doesn't need her, and at this point might be slightly embarrassing. Yeah. So I reckon she's probably just going to ghost her and go make friends with some other people in adjacent spaces. So other people who report in similar kinds of ways. I'm not going to name names. She doesn't care. Yeah. She's a clout vampire. Exactly. And so was Lauren. Well, is. But yeah. Lauren doesn't have any clout anymore. She's just out there quietly producing pre-recorded videos and trying to write this out. Now, let's watch a bit of this. Let's watch it.
Do you need me to run this?
I can probably do it. Just give me a second.
I can.
You can you?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, you started off. Thanks.
Oh, Hidden Gems. I am with the Susan Hendricks, my dear friend. Last time, Susan, you were on Hidden True Crime. People said, we want more. And Susan is not just an incredible broadcaster, CNN reporter and anchor, HLN anchor, a presenter, a podcaster herself. She has the YouTube channel Headline Crime with Susan Hendricks. She's also my dear friend And people wanted sort of a behind the scenes at CrimeCon, and who better to do this with than the person I was hanging out with every day, Susan Hendricks. We're already giggling. There are definitely some behind the scenes stories going on, and
giggling, awkward chuckles.
And honestly, filters were made for these women. Right? If you turned off the filters, honestly, you would be scared. Scared, I tell you.
I mean, you'd probably see something like
no, like her skin's too smooth. Like, honestly, like the woman on the right, she's well into her 50s.
Yeah.
And especially if you look at the thumbnail is just a blur. Like, you can make out no detail whatsoever in that thumbnail. They're shiny and blurry. It's just like, I get
Susan,
one.
you also did
best, but it's just gone so far.
Did an incredible job at CrimeCon. You presented awards. You did multiple panels with both the Delphi prosecutor, Nick McClelland, and Detective Holman, as well as a panel with the victims of Delphi, the Patty family, Anna, Abby, and Libby's families. And I just want to say you have been such an advocate for the surviving victims in Delphi, Indiana. And you also wrote the book Down the Hill, What Haven't You Done? And I just want to say, though, that before we get into maybe some more lighthearted stories, I just want to thank you for the hard work you did, and a sincere thank you to your advocacy and your panels, that you did an incredible job. And I was honored to be there, as well as at the Clue Award, sitting with the families as they receive the Crime Fighter Award, presented to them by the one and only John Walsh.
Fighter Award.
Touching moment to be there at that dinner and at that award ceremony. So, yeah.
Thanks, Lauren. Thanks so much. It was a whirlwind. Kind of, you look back and you think, oh my gosh, there's so much going on, and it's so fast. And
oh my God.
So I've learned through the years to kind of slow down and be in the moment, not to take everything in.
Look, she's doing a little background montage of all the crime cons she's been at.
Aww.
But I think you need to go into YouTube mode, because otherwise every time we pause, it's okay. Every time she's been to CrimeCon, she's done one of these Delphi panels. And she's trying to show like how good she is, because she has so much background on the case, and she's always done these panels with the victims, and I've gotten so close to them over the years, and I haven't exploited them at all. Not at all.
No.
And this has not helped sell my book. This has not helped sell my book at all. No. I love them. They're my friends.
Keep playing.
Yeah.
In my own moment, because if I don't feel prepared, then I feel kind of frazzled. Because we're used to talking to the camera. At least that's my training, either being live or a camera. And really, you're in the room when you're in a studio with like an intern and scripts, and you're making jokes and you play music. I used to fill in for Robin Mead a lot. I had a great morning show.
And we make jokes, not with the intern. I tell her never to talk with me, never to even make eye contact with me. She's a lowly intern now.
Hey, wait. Hey. Did you tell me before we went live that she was rude to you in Arizona?
Lauren actually was kind of nice.
No, this woman.
But I did see her there. She was very standoffish and gave me a I don't want to talk to you vibe. I mean, she kind of just had that vibe in general. I don't think it was necessarily directed at me.
No, it was probably you.
Oh, it probably, to be honest. I mean, but it, like, everyone else there was really nice. It's just, yeah, she was weird.
We saw the picture, darling. He didn't get a picture with Susan. Susan didn't want a picture with him.
No.
No.
Did you remember to wear deodorant that day? Oh, that could be.
Maybe that was it.
I even wore
She doesn't talk to the trial tourists.
I know. I even wore Old Spice, E-Man. Thank you.
And it was kind of her take. She'd play music in between. So it was a lot of fun, but it's really you and what you're comfortable in front of. So a live audience always makes me nervous. But I learned through the years at CrimeCon, especially, it's so dark and the lights are so bright that when you walk out on stage, you really don't see anybody but the front row. And when it was Nick McClelland and Jerry Holman, it was the families who I know well. So I saw Amanda.
I know them well.
Wave, and then I kind of pretended I was alone. They say pretend people are in their underwear. That never works. But I pretended I was alone. But in my room, it was, I was writing on kind of cards that I just did Nancy Grace's show, so I have notes. Not for you. I could chat with you forever with no notes. But kind of.
You just finished with Nancy. We're honored. You're honored you made time for Hidden True Crime too. From Nancy Grace.
You finished with Nancy.
Oh, I just finished with Nancy.
Well,
sounds kind of sexual.
I always love it. First, Dancing with the Stars, nip slip.
Just finished. I'm glad you got to finish.
To Hidden.
To Hidden, this is where I feel most comfortable with the hidden gems. And so I was prepared, but Jerry Holman called my cell phone, like, where are you? You should be down here. And he laughed. But I was just preparing. So then once I'm on stage, you know that once you're prepared and being in news, broadcast news, then you feel like, okay, I can have a conversation. And we met the night before with Nick and Jerry. We had dinner. You were there.
Yes. And Nick's got a huge hog right now. Right behind Holman there. He's about to get what we call a hole-in-one. For some reason, he kept like leaning forward and then back and forward again. I'm not sure what that was about, but we did get this picture finally.
Nick's tempting again.
And Grayson just has this traumatized look on her face.
Oh God, I'm having flashbacks of the photo.
But Nick's so funny. I learned he's very type A. I didn't know him that well. I saw what a great job I believe he did during the trial, but he's very type A. So he's like, are we going to go through the slides? But that helped. It was preparation. And then I thought he did great.
Type A.
He did good, great. That was incredible. So well done. Really. And I think it was so good for the audience to be able to hear from them in person and to hear.
I watched your interview. Sorry to interrupt. You did a great job with Jerry Holman and Nick. So you've interviewed them both. I hadn't interviewed Nick. So I knew kind of, he said, you can ask me anything.
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt. It's a good thing John wasn't there.
It's a good thing John wasn't there. John would have thrown his glasses.
I know.
It would have been all over. Get that bitch off our channel. And Lauren would have been like, no, she's got connections. She's been on CNN. I don't give a fuck. She interrupted us. She's gone.
But I've known Jerry Holman for a while. But I thought Nick did great. He did say he was a little apprehensive. He had never been to CrimeCon. And if you just hear the name, you don't know really what it's going to be like. But I thought he was good. He's like, this is surreal. And he always gets the negative. I do want to point that out. He told me he had a file. It's like, some things are kind of weird in that file, he said, but some he could consider threats. So that's what's all encompassing for him. So this was very different for him to feel kind of the positivity from the crowd.
I am so grateful that he was able to see that, and as well as, again, Abby and Libby's families. So, and it was so nice. I was able to spend time with Anna, Abby's mother, and hear a little bit more from her. I know that she's been a little bit more quiet, and she's an incredible woman and was an incredible mother. And it's heartbreaking what these families have
I reached out to her, I think 8 months ago, to say, hey, if you want to tell me to go shove it and you don't want to be there at CrimeCon, that's okay. But we'd love to have you there. And she had been to the one in Nashville in 2018, with Jerry Holman. So she hadn't been back. And I've learned, and you know this too, Lauren, more than most, that different family members mourn differently. It's very different. And we saw that in the Koberger case with the Gonzalez family. Very face
Hey,
forward.
Greta! How's it going, Greta, mate? Hey, could you please check your Twitter DMs? I don't know if you ever checked them, but I've been sliding into them. Maybe.
Can I also say, different victims and family members mourn differently. Unless somebody accuses them of murder, then they're automatically guilty based on their actions. Based on how they mourn, they can also be very guilty. But if we don't suspect them of anything, then however they mourn is fine.
People are so judgmental.
God forbid you're a 16-year-old girl mourning.
Yeah. God forbid that you're 16 and you're on social media and you start posting stuff and asking content creators to cover your case because, like, you're a 16-year-old and you do what
she's wearing a jetpack. Kind of an unfortunate pause there. I didn't do her any favors.
That's actually a really good pause.
Just flies out of the frame.
Actually, I really like that. In fact, you know that before you stop, before you start again, I need to screenshot that. Thank you. I do collect screenshots.
You got it?
Yeah.
Wanting to fight when Ethan Chapin's mom is more of, okay, I don't need to see his face. It won't bring my son back. So everybody's different. So with Anna, it's been very different, but I'm so glad that she was there. And I think she was too. She was happy that she decided to go. She was apprehensive, but then she's like, okay, I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. Every family, every victim grieves differently. And just to allow that process for each family, whatever it's that they need. So
did you see that?
But we have no problem judging how somebody grieves in order to convict them.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as we've got someone else from the family to come on our channel and tell us that they're guilty. Yeah. Then that's fine.
Lori Vallow and covering the many trials.
Absolutely. Well, that's another great example of a case that has multiple different families and victims, and each family processed and grieved differently. And
many of those family members there were a lot of rumors about some of those family members too, were there not? In the beginning?
Yeah.
When people didn't know what was going on?
Yeah, but they'll take any rumor they can. As long as they have the family's phone numbers, you see, like Amanda says here, right? Like just whatever you can do to get them on your channel is what matters, Dolly.
I think people went after Colby, I believe, in the beginning, accused him of stuff.
I don't even know. I don't know. As long as you can get them on your channel, that's all that matters.
Yeah, the Woodcocks we want to talk, we want to share. Whereas Tammy Daybell's family more so was saying, hey, I think we're going to lean back and allow investigators to take it over. Whereas Tammy Daybell's Aunt Vicky has said, you know what, I will be a spokesperson on behalf of Tammy. And so each family sort of, again, grieves the way they need to grieve and copes the way they need to cope in tragedy. And I think that one thing I love about you, you're my friend, but also someone that is a part of seeing what victims go through, survivors, victims, however they want to be labeled. I also respect whatever label they want, to allow them to feel what they feel and just be where they need to be, when they need to be there, and to give them that space to process and to help them through it too.
I think most of your viewers are familiar with your excellent coverage of the Delphi trial, but early on, Mike kind of took on that leadership role. I think they're clearly thrown into something they never think will happen to them. And I was saying it during CrimeCon that, you know how we're kind of linked through marriage or through relationships that we have through life. Well, through tragedy, those families, Abby and Libby's, are always linked. And Mike, this was March 2018. So just a month after the murders of Abby and Libby, he stood up to the podium and he thanked Abby's family. He thanked Anna, and he said they gave him this kind of statement that he read and said they don't want to talk now. They respect our family for wanting to talk, so I'll take the role. If you want to talk to them, they don't want to talk right now, come to me. So I think that Mike kind of had that leadership role, and he still kind of does. I always know, because that was the second panel I did, I had him the furthest from me, because I always know that whatever I ask him, I kind of know what he's going to say, or somewhat of what he's going to say. So I wanted Anna closest to me, and then Mike down there that I could kind of yell across. But he did take that role of that action type of guy. And you saw Lauren in court every single day. He was taking notes after notes.
Yes.
And think about it. Your granddaughter that you lived with, that you were raising with her mom, but that you were raising. And he said he would walk by the stairs every day and look at her picture and say good morning to her. And to see him and that kind of stoic guy, really nice, but stoic, the heart-wrenching days in court, and him just taking note after note after note. But he was there every day.
Yeah, he was. And again, I love being able to hear more from Anna too on that panel. So thank you for that. Thank you for and thank you to Anna. I guess I should say for sharing.
Yeah.
I was listening, Anna, and
isn't that interesting?
I'm so grateful that they won that.
Isn't it interesting that she's like, thank you to Susan for me hearing from Anna. And then she corrects herself and she's like, no, thank you to Anna.
Wow. Do you want to keep going on this, or?
Yeah. Can I please have the link though? Would you mind?
I'm at 9:48.
Can I have the actual link, please?
Oh.
Thank you. Oh, it's all right if you have to go from there.
Yeah.
Nine where? 9:48?
9:58.
9:58. I can do that.
I just sent it to you.
Okay, ready?
Cliff is his name. So I was asking Anna about him, but it was mentioned in court, and it's so true. The generational trauma that this person caused by that one day, that one moment. And who's I think is unique in their kind of
here we go
unity in the way they deal with the tragedy, I think, are the Petitos. So his stepdad and dad and mom and dad
for the boy.
United. And that's not just a front. You know that. We saw them again.
They are legitimately united. Yeah, the four of them completely united. It's incredible. And the four of them, Gabby's four parents started the Gabby Petito Foundation together. They're very close, and they were all there together. It was nice to hang out with them. And one thing I want to say about CrimeCon, and this is what I wrote on my Instagram and Facebook when I posted photos that we took there, was I didn't know it could be both healing and fun. And I feel like it was healing, but we were also able to get together as people who cover something very tragic and as the victims who have gone through the unfathomable, and also laugh and enjoy one another and talk and have a good time. And it's odd that that's the case, but in that sense, it was even more healing for me. I just want to say that, and it was very fun with you and with everyone.
You too. This always stood out to me. So
you suck. Sit down, bitch. You had a great time. It was so much fun. I'm so glad you had so much fun. You know who didn't have fun? Christina. And I don't think her friends had much fun either, because they were worried too that they were going to get carted away by cops. Because they were named on a civil stalking injunction.
Yep.
You piece of shit. And you said that you were so scared. And you, Susan, said that you saw that she was so scared on an official court document. Oh, sorry, you didn't sign it. You're both pieces of shit. How fun is it now? Yeah. This is crap. It was healing for her. Oh, that's just great. That's just great.
I think she makes a good point.
They both suck.
They spoke so highly of you, Hella.
they both suck. And yet, clearly they did have a great time. We saw the photos. We saw them. Lauren and Grayson got on Patreon and said that they were out at the bar till 3 a.m. having a fantastic time. At the VIP table, at the Clue Awards, celebrating the victims, walking around talking. She thinks she's so special hanging out with this bitch. These two women are so entitled. And they have the whole of the freaking Aurora Police Department protecting them. This is crap.
It was my first CrimeCon. It was in New Orleans. It was 2019. And I remember I got to know the families well at that point, Mike and Becky especially at that particular time. Tara, I met at that time. So we're eating dinner together. It was in the hotel. You know how everything kind of, it's in different cities every year. And so we were just sitting at kind of a bar restaurant. And a couple of people I worked with at HLN and CNN anchors and journalists came over and went, "Hey, Susan," and saw the family and kind of froze and walked away. Not to be mean at all. Very nice people, friends of mine. They didn't really know what to say. And so it always stood out to me. And Kevin Balfe, who started CrimeCon with his brother at Red Sea Ventures, said, "You know what, Susan, they just want to be normal." Because people don't know what to say. So the fun, that's where the fun comes in, I think. They're still who they were. There's a time before this tragedy happens and there's a time after. But they don't lose. Like, hey, you want to have a mozzarella stick? Or Joe Petito's hilarious, naturally hilarious. You could tell he always was. And I think that's healing for him to be himself, like to say funny things. And so I don't think they want everyone around them to be somber, if you're following me. Like, the murders of Abby and Libby, horrific, but they formed friendships and bonds that they want to be okay. And Becky said that she always kind of felt guilty that she was doing things and Libby wasn't there. And Kelsey said that too. Then she started to think of things. Libby would want me to have fun, would want me to ride a scooter that I never rode, would want us to, go in the ocean when it's freezing. So I think they had to shift to kind of have it be okay to have fun.
And that's a perfect example. And that's what CrimeCon does too. A lot of victims and survivors attend CrimeCon and you're saying it is okay to have fun. You don't have to feel guilty. Let's enjoy one another for the weekend. And we certainly did. Like I said, thank you for introducing us to the Petitos and the Schmitz family. They were wonderful. So many that,
I love you.
Yeah, it was fun.
I had some funny moments.
It was so fun.
Go ahead. Yeah, let's hear.
I'll go with Petitos. I'll go.
We even attended you're on the board of the Gabby Petito Foundation, and we attended the dinner together in New York.
Oh my,
that was an incredible annual event.
Wait.
Did the dinner together in New York.
My God.
And
that was
an
hang on, just wait.
I was about to
say, we even attended you're on the board of the Gabby Petito Foundation. And
is that appropriate? I'm talking about Lauren now. Is that appropriate to have your boobies out like that? Is it?
Oh, look at Grebe.
Well,
she's letting the girls out a little bit.
No, I don't think that's inappropriate. She got big ones and like that. It's just a scoop neck, but Lauren, it's like just the word
Lauren's
navel just about. I don't know if that. I wouldn't wear, like, I don't even have any really, but like I wouldn't wear something like that to like a foundation dinner for like domestic violence or whatever it is. Like it's a wholesome event. It's a fundraising event. It's wholesome.
The really sad thing is it's been 5 years since John has even seen this look.
True. I really like that's a lot of side boob. That's a lot.
Right?
That's a lot. Susan has her tatas completely covered. Yeah, Susan is being very respectful. Like
Good Lord.
that's a conservative look. I think that's appropriate. What she's wearing is appropriate. And I usually would not comment at all. I think like it's difficult for ladies sometimes, especially if they have big ones. And that's why I'm sticking up for Grayson on this one. She's got big ones.
Okay.
And yeah, it's difficult. Like to find something that's conservative to like because she has cleavage.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
But then we got it's McGillicuddy on the left there, just whipping them out.
She is like that is a very low cut dress. That is a very, very low cut dress. That is a date night dress. Yes, that is. Yeah. I wouldn't feel comfortable posing in front of a backdrop with Gabby Petito on it in a dress like that. That's kind of weird to me. That is what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying. Let it go. Hey, is this covering my nips? Yeah, exactly. I just don't think that that's an appropriate dress. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say it. She's a skank. Yeah.
Nancy Grace wasn't wearing a dress like that on Dancing with the Stars.
No.
Would have been more than a slip we saw.
Yeah. And Alice Casey, new member. How's it going? And Rhinestone, wow, go member for a month. That's so nice. Carol 911, are they really that stupid? Yes, they are. And did I miss you before, Jackie, giving out 5 memberships?
Aww.
That's so nice of you.
Thank you so much.
I love you, Jackie. You're so sweet. And Rain Collector, $10.
Yamly.
Hello, Rain Collector. You're awesome, Rain Collector. And do you have to pop out, Dolly?
Yeah, I probably should.
That's all right.
Been a long day.
It's fine. You have work tomorrow, don't you? For the first day back.
Yep.
You do. That's fair enough. Poor you.
All right, guys. I'll see you later.
That's all right. We'll go for a little bit longer and then we're going to redirect over to Greta.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right. See you. Okay. Bye.
We attended the dinner together in New York, and that was an incredible annual event that we want to be able to help with at Hidden True Crime again and again. So yeah, it was enjoyable to unite once again. This time in Denver.
They love you. Joe's like, Lauren, Grayson hugging you guys, so they love you. It's a bond that and I say this all the time. I'm even getting sick of hearing it from myself, but what kind of an atmosphere, a unique atmosphere it creates for the families to heal, to be with people who truly understand. For journalists, so I see people like I saw Brian Enton, and Vinnie Politan. I've known Vinnie for years. I just really kind of met Brian, but you see people that you know, and you're saying, oh my gosh, if you have that in common, like the coverage of Casey Anthony we did together every single day, Jody Arias, and he's a wonderful person, Vinnie. So you kind of see people, right, that you haven't seen in a while. And then you're right, it has a way of doing that. Then there's meet and greets. There's so many things that you can pick and choose, kind of panels and meet and greets. And I was there with Jerry Holman and with Nick McClelland, and Nick is saying,
I can't see anything live of this right now.
Not weird in a bad way, but weird to get, so people would come up, they pay a lot of money for these badges. You could be like platinum or gold, and to meet the families, and mostly women were there, but some men, and they went up and said, great job during the trial. And I think it meant a lot to them. And I could see Jerry Holman kind of tearing up. So there's that. There's so many things going on, so many facets at once.
Yeah. So the behind the scenes, though, we saw your panels. I'm trying to think of some of the stories we had too. There was some good times in the evening. Grayson pointed out that there was one night where she said, Lauren, I didn't know you could do that. And we went to bed at 3 a.m. So we had
Petito. We keep going back to him because he's the funny one. And he called me, what are you doing? Get down here. Lauren's down here. I'm like, I have a paddle tomorrow. That's all right. I said, no, I have to. It was like me in college. I have to study. Goodbye.
I know. He was like, where's Susan? I'm like, call her. Here's my phone. Yeah. He's like, get down here. Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm like, tomorrow night. I have a panel in the morning. I'm nervous. So that was fun. They're always fun. And I saw Nicole, Gabby's mom, the next morning. She's like, oh my gosh. So it is that weird thing that you walk down the hall and you see like a John Walsh.
Oh, his son. You walk down the hall and you see a John Walsh. It's so weird. All of these famous victims. I don't get this phenomenon of like, and I don't want to be disrespectful. Like, victims of crime, they need to be protected from this, I feel. But making them into some sort of celebrities is a very strange thing. I don't feel comfortable with it. I don't like this. Like the way they turn them into kind of some sort of film star kind of status is strange. Who else is with me like this? With this, I just don't like it. Yeah, I don't like this high profile victim thing so much. And I heard, like, it came. I first noticed Lauren sort of saying this on the body cams when she was talking to the police in Henderson and Boise, and this high profile cases, high profile victims, and it was weird. Like, it's icky to me. Like, someone has lost a loved one to violent crime, and because the cases become very well known through the media, suddenly these people who've had this tragedy happen, they get fought over by these so-called reporters, but really vultures, and they become commodities, like content commodities. And they didn't ask for that. And their trauma and their pain becomes content. And then we get to this point where someone like Susan Hendricks is going, oh, it's so weird, it's surreal to be walking down the hall and to see these people like John Walsh and Joe Petito and you're glorifying these people like they chose this as a career. It's not their career. This is not what they chose to do and be in their life. Yeah, they need support and empathy, not fame. It's oxymoronic to celebrate victims. And Lauren actually said when she was on duty, Ron, that she was at the Clue Awards celebrating the Delphi victims. That was her words. Celebrating the Delphi victims. Celebrating them. Tragedy groupies, yes. Yes. Yeah, yeah. I want to walk down the hall and see Bruno Mars. Yeah, exactly. It's just so strange. I find it so odd. And I saw someone say, "Oh, isn't this what all true crime creators want to interview victims?" Well, that's what, like, if that's what all true crime creators want, then I certainly don't want to be a true crime creator. At all. But I don't think that's what they all want. I have no desire to interview, to go after any victim of crime ever. Like, if and not because I have anything against them at all. Like, I just don't want to interfere in their lives at all. The only person I'd want to talk to ever maybe might be Kresha or Kay, because it's many years later and it would be not about the crime at all. It'd be about what's happened with Lauren, maybe what Lauren's done to them, but it wouldn't be about the terrible tragedies to do with the loss of their family. But I would never ever want to hear the stories of people's murders from the victims ever. I find it very wrong, and especially prior to any trial, when there could be some prejudice around that. I find that really, I don't like it. I want facts from true crime reporting. I don't need any extra emotional baggage. Yes, that's the thing. To understand what a family member feels, I know they must feel terrible. Yeah. See, I already know they feel terrible. I already know that. So I don't need to know more than that. It's fine. Like, let them have their feeling terrible in privacy. Yeah. I just, ugh. And then add on top of that the whole psychological analysis of how they feel from a distance when you don't even know them. There's an extra level of gross that I've never understood. Hidden true crimes content, the appeal of that content myself. And I'm not judging anyone who's liked it. I know a lot of you guys in chat have liked it. No judgment at all, no shade. Guys, I love you, I appreciate you. Just for me personally, that's never appealed to me. So yeah. HTC has less people in their premiere than this chat by about 10 people. Well, and we're nearly done here. So yeah, we had 100 or so more people earlier. I'll wait for Helen to react to it. Well, they're doing some bullshit about Nick Reiner. It's called schizophrenia addict or psychopathy. Princeton psychologist breaks down why something or other. They've only got 744 people watching, and we've got nearly 900. I just don't understand why it's relevant for John to be reacting to whether or not he's a psychopath or an addict when he doesn't know anything about Nick Reiner. Does he have any psychologist reports? Does he have any medical reports? Does he know anything about Nick Reiner at all, other than like looking at videos of him from years ago? No. So it's completely unethical of him and wrong. So still that video is going to get 30,000 views. Where from, God knows. Yeah, nothing about Nick Reiner is confirmed. It's all TMZ spin. Yeah. John has nothing. Of course he's got nothing. And now he's putting, have you notice, right? Now, we'll show. Hang on. Here you go. Now they're putting Princeton psychologist breaks down why Nick. They're putting Princeton psychologist in there. Isn't that interesting?
Of the party, and I think that's exactly the point I want to make, is that when you grow up in this kind of sheltered Hollywood ecosystem that Alana Zabel says is all based on fantasy. I mean, they're in the business of creating fantasy and selling fantasy, right? What happens is, I think you develop a very distorted view of the world.
Yeah.
And you develop very distorted expectations. And I think in the Reiner family, when you have two generations of massive success, right, those expectations must be enormous.
Yeah.
And in fact, some friends of Nick have talked about that they believe that he was never able to get out from under the weight of all those expectations. And it just absolutely buried him. That he couldn't find his voice. He couldn't find his identity. He was filled with shame because he couldn't meet expectations. And so I think that's a big part of this story as well. But if you think about that,
look at her staring at him.
Distorted,
did you see that? Look at her staring us down. Oh no. Oh God, I need to screenshot that. Oh, the evil eye. Oh God, I'm scared, guys. She is not happy.
potentially how distorted your perception of the world would be because you grow up in this Hollywood fantasy world, right? And now,
this sort of bubble, maybe.
It's bubble.
'Cause it's not a fantasy to them; it's real to them.
No, I know it's a business. I mean, I'm not saying that everyone.
But this sort of bubble that the rest of the world isn't necessarily accustomed to.
Right, exactly. You're.
She cut it off.
Right, it's atypical in the sense that very few people do it. Very few people have the talent and the ability to make movies. Right,
Yeah.
it's a. I'm not denigrating it.
No,
the people who do it are.
It's just a very small percentage.
It's a small percentage, and so. But here's my point: is that
here's your point.
If you see this world as being somewhat distorted from the real world, and you're in this world, and all of a sudden you're prodromal schizophrenic, or you're having some symptoms of schizophrenia. Imagine how confusing that must be.
Imagine.
Yes.
Right. You're in a distorted world, and now your perceptions of that world are becoming even more distorted.
That's true. That makes sense. Right. I see where you're going.
I see where you're going.
So I think
he hasn't got a fucking clue where he's going. None of us do. We don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's just talking. He's just talking. Because why? Let's see what she's saying in the chat. Everyone is human with deep, complex feelings. Deep, complex feelings. Oh, Grayson's in chat. While all three of these people have done heinous things, I think that there is value at looking at the deeper motives and what has led people to do the things they do. Yes, that's true, Grayson, of you, Lauren, and John. What else did she say? She said, well said, Grayson, to what? I think it's important to have compassion for everyone, famous or not, realizing that people and situations are far more complex than we often think. Is she just getting this out of ChatGPT? Well said, Grayson. Is Grayson just talking to herself? Like logged into Hidden True Crimes account and her own? Because, no, right, sorry. This is a premiere. It's not live. Because I don't think they do lives very much anymore, like real lives, or at all.
That makes it doubly hard for him to negotiate this world in a way that's really makes sense, or that, I was going to say rational. I don't know if that's quite the right word, but in a way that adds up to Nick Reiner.
Yeah.
And so I think these are all elements that are going to make it harder for Nick to kind of negotiate this world, right? And there's another part of the family culture, and again, we'll talk about this in a little more depth, but I just want to touch on it now, is I think this is a really important point that nobody's talking about in the Reiner case.
Okay, we got an ad break.
I'm done with skincare trends that promise quick fixes.
Look, that's true, Lauren. We've seen the skincare trend that you tried about a month ago and your face blew up. Like it started at the bottom and then it just like went all the way up your face and then your face just went back down again. So it's looking a little bit better now. Reverse skin aging. Look, whatever's happened, it's better than what you had a month ago. So, I don't know. Maybe we might buy the thing that you're selling. But it wasn't quick. It took about a month. When is this video from? It's premiering right now. Right now. If you want the cheeks on the side of your face, listen to my advice. His True Calling is a podcast where he talks with like the ocean in the background to help people sleep. His shirt hides the chins. Okay, let's. Oh God. But can I just get Chat's feedback on the fashion choices here? And we've seen this top on him before. I don't know who is advising him on this top, but her. Is she in a Star Trek rerun? Like, what do you think? What's going on here? It's giving Lady Gaga. Oh, yeah. I see that. I would never put anything on my face that she ever is promoting. It's cute, but dressy to be sitting in the living room. They're doing the whole kitchen table podcast thing. Yeah. He shops for his clothes at Costco. Yeah, it is very Star Trek.
Be, I think, a really key part of analyzing the Reiner family culture. And that is that we hear constantly about this issue of kindness and how kind Rob Reiner is and how kind the show, right? They
over and over again.
They send Christmas cards to or holiday
everyone in their lives.
Everyone in their lives, like
including their trainers and
everyone. Yeah, right. They're very thoughtful, and I want to make it so. What's important about this is that you can have a family system that has kindness at its foundation. Let's say the foundation of the family system is kindness, and that's great.
And acceptance.
And acceptance and understanding and love and support. Here's the problem.
Okay.
Most people listening to this think, well, that's great, right? Kindness and love are enough to solve any problem, right?
Yeah.
But that's not quite true.
Here's the problem.
What I want to say is that it's important not to equate kindness with connection. That I think this is a family system that has an inordinate amount of kindness, but I don't know.
This is absolute nothing talk. He's saying fucking nothing. This stream is titled Princeton Psychologist Reacts. Princeton. Dude, you're saying nothing. No, it's called schizophrenia, addict, or psychopathy. Princeton psychologist breaks down why Nick Reiner something or other. Dude, you've got nothing to offer. You have no evidence. You have no medical reports, no psychologist reports, nothing. No expert testimony, nothing. And now you're talking about, it's important to understand the difference between kindness and connection. So the most broad terms, just sweeping statements that could apply to absolutely anybody. And she's sitting there going, yeah, John. Tell me about it, John. This is just so lame. It's like, I get it, like years ago, they had something kind of to talk about. Like they had the Valo de Bell case and they had like some content, like there was some meat to the case, like there was actual evidence. There was a web of interesting information that they could kind of pull apart. But now they're looking for anything at all that they can grab onto that has some sort of clickable appeal, I guess. Like the Nick Reiner name has some clickable appeal.
And again, I'm speculating here.
He's speculating.
I don't know if this is a family system that's connected.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because if you go back and look at these interviews between Rob and Nick, and they did a lot of them for Being Charlie. So this was a long time ago. This was a decade
long time ago.
The movie comes out in 2016. They're on this tour in 2015-16.
And Being Charlie is the movie that was inspired by Nick's addiction and his relationship with his father, correct?
Yeah, it's semi-autobiographical.
Dude, 2016 is like they just said, a really long time ago. So that means that they are really struggling to find anything to go on here. Yeah. And yes, I have noticed, chat, the people are really judgy, but they're also loving this, right? So they're like, this is so informative, fascinating discussion. Thank you. So fascinating. Love this kind of conversation. I love it when it seems like they are talking to each other. It would be weird if they ignored each other. What? Nick said somewhere that he never felt like he had a bond with Rob. You both look very healthy and good lately. I love your new look. In photos, he has what I call fish eyes, as in dead eyes. Oh, you're not talking about John.
Right, graphical, and I'm not going to get. We're not going to have time to get into all that because I'm just touching on this issue. We will get into it later in another episode. Right. We'll really dig into that, and we'll talk about the movie and more about the family culture. But I think the family culture is really probably one of the key pieces to understanding this murder.
Okay.
So, but I want to touch on this because I want to throw it out there for people to think about because it's so important that if you look at these interviews, there are most of the time or a lot of the time, Rob and Nick are very disconnected in terms of little things like this. Like you and I, people complain because I don't look at the camera enough.
Yeah.
And then, well, it's okay. They complain that I look at it too much. Like I'm looking at myself. I'm like, I'm just trying to connect.
You're trying to get one of us to look at the camera.
And that's true. So, and I'm also trying to be like, lead him over. Yeah. Anyway, but yes, you do not look at the camera.
They're acknowledging us, guys. Oh, they've been watching us. Oh, ouch. People complain that I don't look at the camera. Oh, they complain that I look at it too much. That people have been saying it on our streams. Oh, have you noticed he never looks at the camera? Have you noticed he doesn't look at the camera? Have you noticed how much she looks into the camera and fixes her hair and checks herself out? Have you noticed that? They're watching us, guys. Rewind that. Yeah.
Or a lot of the time, Rob and Nick are very disconnected in terms of little things like this. Like you and I, people complain because I don't look at the camera enough. So,
and then, well, it's okay. They complain that I look at it too much. Like I'm looking at myself. I'm like, I'm just trying to connect.
You're trying to get one of us to look at the camera.
And that's true. So, and I'm also trying to be like, lead him over. Yeah. Anyway, but yes, you do not look at the camera.
But my point is, if for me as a psychologist, I'm in the business of connection.
Awkward.
So like for me, it would be natural to turn to you like this and look at you. Right.
Yeah.
I put my hand on you, like, right. It's like, if I'm going to connect with someone, I'm going to do it this way. Right. And so it's awkward for me to look in the camera and try to feel connected to you because you're here. Right. And I want to look at you. And so, but there's a point here.
Okay.
There's a point, really?
In some of these interviews, Rob Reiner
shorts
puts up his leg.
Like that. Okay.
He's on a couch, but he puts his leg up to like shield himself from Nick.
Huh.
And he goes like this. There's one interview where the whole interview, he's kind of going like this and turning away from Nick.
Well, I kind of do that too, though, because it's comfy.
But there's a difference between doing this and going like this, right?
Okay. Huh. So you're watching like the full.
I'm watching the
connection.
Is he a body language expert now? Oh no. Watch out, Dr. G. Watch out, behavior panel. We have new content specialists. Everyone, watch out. They're getting into a new niche. New niche, everybody. Check them out. And also, back there, I thought he was going to fart. John, I told you not to have beans. I told you. Enough with the kidney beans. Your flatulence is overwhelming. Not on stream. Sorry, I need to get a screenshot of that. Look at her face. I smell farts.
Killed himself from Nick.
Huh.
And he goes like this. There's one interview where the whole interview, he's kind of going like this and turning away from Nick.
I kind of do that too, though, because it's comfy.
But there's a difference between doing this and going like this, right?
Okay. Huh. So you're watching like the full.
I'm watching
the connection.
Psychologists call this process. So when I work with my students, what I don't do, I take it back. What I do some of the time is I listen to what we call content, which is, in other words, content is the subject of what people are discussing.
Mm-hmm.
Where content is the topic of schizophrenia or mental illness, right? But process is what goes on between us.
Yeah.
Process is the nonverbals and the unspoken elements of what's occurring in the room.
Nothing. Yeah. What is the point of any of this? What does this have to do with the crime? Fuck all. It has zero to do with the crime because we know nothing about the crime. We don't even know what he's going to plead yet. The arraignment hasn't even happened. The arraignment's on the 16th. They're dragging this out. They're doing this because they have seen that over the last month, 6 weeks, the best views they've had are anything that's had the writer name in it. If you go and have a look at their stats, the best stuff they've had is all had the writer name in it. So they're sitting there going, what can we do to get ourselves some more views? Oh, okay, we need to put out another writer video. And I guaranteed the second that he puts his plea in, there'll be another one. And they're really hoping he's going to plead not guilty by reason of insanity. Then they can do a whole analysis on what the not guilty by reason of insanity means. Yeah. That's what this is all about.
So process in many ways is more telling. And this, by the way, is not body language. It's different. Process is more direct. Like body language is more speculative than process. Process is based on evidence. So if
Dolly,
if I'm trying to connect with you and I'm shying away from you and I'm doing that.
It's uncomfortable. I'm already like, get back. I'm like, what are you doing?
Right.
I'm back. Yeah.
Then I'm going to notice in that process that there's something going on, right? Like I'm going to ask if one of my students is in a room with a client.
One of your students. Bullshit, you got no students. So if he isn't convicted of M, are they going to delete this? No. Okay, so what they've been doing recently, they've done this twice now. What they've been doing recently is they keep putting out these videos going, this changes everything. Right? So they've done it with the Reiner case because they were all like, he's so guilty. And then when it came out that he was most likely schizophrenic, he was schizophrenic, there was another video put out actually titled, This Changes Everything. And Lauren comes on and she starts explaining how schizophrenia or drug-induced schizophrenia changes a person. And John wasn't on that one. So John was on one with her talking about how drugs and family dynamics definitely, allegedly, but almost not allegedly, caused Nick Reiner to kill his parents. And then like a day later, there's another video with the thumbnail says, this changes everything. And then they got to do a backflip. John's not on it. And Lauren's talking about this psychosis, schizophrenia. So they get to do a backpedal and continue on their merry way. Now, I reckon that they'll continue with this whole this changes everything thing so that they can continue covering cases and not look like they've completely made an ass of themselves. They did it also with another case that they're covering. What are they doing at the moment? Melody Buzzard and I'll tell you in a sec. We'll keep playing.
The client is really uncomfortable talking about certain topics or is not making eye contact, right? If there appears to be a clear disconnect, then that's something I want to talk about.
Okay.
Why is the client feeling that disconnect, right? What's the process happening in that room? And if you pay attention, and we'll talk again, we'll talk about this in more depth in our future episodes, but the process between Nick and Rob, not always, but quite often, feels strained. It feels like there's a disconnect. And even though Rob is super kind and he's trying to connect to Nick.
Yeah, they did another This Changes Everything in the missing lady case. The missing teacher. Shocking new evidence in search for missing Chicago teacher Linda Brown. Exclusive. They did an interview with somebody, and yeah, they called it This Changes Everything. They just like they're able to backflip now because they'll just do a This Changes Everything video.
It doesn't seem to work. Nick seems to want to resist it. That's the other thing about Nick, by the way. Nick tends to be pretty shut down. He's a little flat. That's a term you and I use all the time.
Mm-hmm.
People that are depressed don't have much affect. And Nick often comes across, he doesn't come across as particularly expressive or particularly emotive, right? He comes across as a bit flat, a bit depressed, a bit disconnected.
Because he
was.
Which,
by the way, one of the symptoms or one of the elements of schizophrenia is it's called the negative symptom of schizophrenia, which is restricted affect.
Well, I know what affect is. What does it restricted mean?
Restricted means that there's almost no show of emotion, that your emotion is completely
zero affect.
There's
flat.
It's a little more than flat. Flat affect would be more depression.
Flat is kind of what you are right now, Lauren. But Dali, I want to know what you tried to super chat, and also I want to know what got you blocked, or was it just the fact that you were in there and you were Dali talk? Do they know who you are? Is that what it is? What's going on with my mic, or is it that I'm like going like this? That could be it. What meds was Nick on? No. Yeah. See, I mean, this is the other thing. Yeah, if you followed anything to do with the Nick Reiner case, there could be potentially a case for a malpractice, right? But we don't know yet. Nothing's really come out properly yet. But he was supposed to be under medical supervision, and he had a change in his medication, like a big change to his medication. And if he had a change to his medication and he was very much reliant on that medication to keep him stable, that could mean that potentially there is an issue with his physician not having practiced his having given him proper care, and therefore maybe being responsible. So we'll see. I'm sure that if there is any civil action to be taken, it will be taken. It will absolutely be taken. Yeah. So I don't know criminally where this is going. I have no idea. That, as I said, he's not even pled yet. But there could absolutely be civil ramifications. Yes. Their life is fake. No one reacted to my words. Oh, really? Really, really, really. There's no dialogue. What's that? There's no dialogue with each other, or I guess just him going on and on about nothing. Well, it's all pre-recorded. Yeah. Seriously, I can't believe they haven't learned anything. I can believe it. I can believe it. But it's interesting that they acknowledge that people don't like that he doesn't talk to camera, and she acknowledged that people don't like that she's always looking into the camera and that looks so great, right? So they're watching some things. They're watching some things. Now, yeah, right, bling is the new black. You know she's really sitting in bed all day, wiping her snot on the bed sheets, watching everyone make fun of her on YouTube. Sadly, yes. Sadly, yes. I do think that's probably a little bit of what's going on. And here's the thing, right, guys? I'll go here for a minute now. I was talking to someone in the comments earlier today who was saying to me, I really wish you'd just stop making all these videos and having a go at her. And my response to that is, well, maybe if Lauren were to take responsibility for all of the pain that she's caused to numerous people, innocent people who have done nothing, that no stalking, no harassment, no hacking, no extortion, and victims of crime who have trusted her, but she's exploited them, even tried to take down video of their murdered loved ones, done all this, and then broadcast on her channel to her platform of 300,000 plus people false information about these allegations, cost these people a lot of money too. Say, for example, Christina, who has not just lost a trip to CrimeCon, but she's had to defend herself in court. All manner of things that are reprehensible, completely misrepresented facts, and done so in court documents, done so on police reports, all in order to save her reputation. And she said it was to not re-victimize victims. Well, maybe there might be a little teensy shred of truth in there because she has shit-talked victims. But really, it was all about not losing her own face or saving her own face and saving her reputation and her channel. Now, unfortunately, she has doubled down, and John, they've all doubled down and made out like it's no biggie and they've done nothing wrong. So maybe I might stop exposing all this stuff if they were to admit and take responsibility for what they've done and compensate those people for their losses. Do we think that's going to happen? I don't think so. So until that happens, whilst there's things to expose, I'm going to keep doing it. And I don't feel bad about it one little bit. At all. Nope, nope, no. Weaponizing the legal system always needs to be called out. Yep. They admit nothing. They're sitting there doing their stupid little premiere, talking crap about things they don't know, and just continuing on their way as if nothing ever happened. And they say to their subscribers, oh, we moved on months ago. We moved on months ago. They said we moved on months ago at the same time as they were sending out more cease and desist letters. Yeah. So on the surface, they're making out like we moved on months ago, but they're continuing with this bullshit. Because they're public figures and they think they're more powerful. But the thing is that everybody deserves to go about their lives and not have to deal with bullshit like this, including Christina, including Mr. Breakfast, including Lindsay, including Janice, including Kresha and Kay. All of these people, I'll never be able to list them all because there've been so many. All the people she's jealous of. So much harm has been done. All over her jealousy, her building her kingdom and being so scared to lose it and getting so paranoid that she decides to get the law involved. So as far as I'm concerned, that needs to be called out, and I'm so glad it has been. I wish that the likes of Law and Crime and Court TV would get a hold of this and call it out on a much bigger scale. I think enough information is out now. I think there is enough evidence now to prove that what she has alleged on her 9-hour live is false. Unequivocally, say that word, false. Yes. I think there is enough now. And anyone who is questioning that is closing their mind to facts. Thank you all, guys. The ethical networks like Court TV and Law and Crime. Well, I mean, okay, so I get where you're going with that, and I know that they also spin a lot of crap. Where else? Who else is going to cover it? That's got enough reach. DB. Who else is going to cover it that's got enough reach? I mean, could there be a documentary that could get onto one of the big platforms like Hulu or something like that? Could someone make a film about this that could get enough traction? I don't know. But I get what you're saying. Like Law and Crime and Court TV often get things very wrong. Yeah. A documentary. But if it were a documentary, then it would need to be well made. I'd be very happy for it to show both sides. Like, I think it should show both sides. But I think there's enough weight of evidence now for it to be very clear that Lauren has misrepresented the facts. She wanted it turned into a documentary, yes, but she wanted to make her own documentary. Well, we assume. Allegedly. They would love that. Well, they would love it to be their documentary, I think. Yeah. So yeah, their followers are only hearing one side of it. And I just think that I feel like their followers are happy in their little gem world. So, yeah. I just wanted to see what DB said after that. It's okay, I know what you meant. Yeah. Yeah. Went to Dr. John class and all I got was a lecture on how it's not that small. And Lauren doesn't understand. Then he cried. Oh, Snibbles. You naughty Snibbles. You're naughty. I love you, Snibbles. I love you. Now, guys, in the next day or two, not sure if it'll be tomorrow or the day after, I have a surprise for you. So keep your eyes and ears out and your notifications on, because I will announce it probably with a post. So it'll be good. When it happens, it will be good. And now we are going to redirect to Kresha. Yes, a mockumentary. Preach. Today has been super fun, if not very painful. Maybe more text, but something even more exciting. Yes. Please let Jolene know. Do a video of that. Oh, I'm sure she's right on it. Don't worry. I'm sure she's right on it. Yeah, cool. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. It's been fun today. Extra long stream for fun. So long that Darlie had to go to bed. Okay, guys, time for the song.
Her name was Helen. She was an Aussie. She was a fake lawyer from the future. She got on YouTube and made some live streams. The co-host is Dolly and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud and because she's an 803.